The clock on my nightstand glowed 2:47 a.m., its red digits slicing through the dark like a fresh wound. I lay there, staring at the ceiling cracks that mapped out like the veins in my own restless heart, the distant hum of Brooklyn traffic a lousy lullaby. Another night in this shoebox apartment. Rent split with Jamie, my roommate of 8 months, the guy who'd answered my Craigslist ad with a grin that lit up the dingy hallway like he'd invented sunshine. We'd clicked easy, two 20-somethings chasing ghosts in the city, me, Alex, sketching logos for startups that ghosted me by lunch, him, Timmy, pounding pavement for freelance articles that paid in exposure and empty promises. Beers after bad days, late-night pizza runs, shoulders brushing in the narrow kitchen. Palmless, right? Until it wasn't. A soft creak from the hallway floorboards. My door eased open, a sliver of hall light spilling in like an invitation I hadn't sent. Jamie stood there, silhouette sharp against the glow, his broad shoulders slumped under an oversized NYPD tee that hung loose on his runner's frame. "Can't sleep," he muttered, voice rough as gravel, barely above the AC's low rattle. "No punchline." No retreat to the couch. Just those 3 words, heavy as the humid July air pressing against the window. I shifted, propping on one elbow, heart kicking up like it had caught the scent of rain. Bad dream. The sheets twisted around my legs, cool cotton whispering against skin still warm from tossing. He didn't answer, just padded across the hardwood, bare feet silent now, and lifted the edge of my comforter like it was the most natural thing. The mattress dipped under his weight, and there he was, sliding in beside me, close enough that the heat from his body chased away the chill. No words. No explanation. He curled toward me, one arm draping loose across the pillow, his breath steadying against my shoulder. I froze, every nerve firing like live wires. The faint scent of his soap, cedar and mint, mixed with the stale coffee grounds from earlier, grounding me even as my pulse thundered in my ears. "Jamie?" a whisper, testing the air between us. Nothing. Just the rise and fall of his chest sinking with mine, accidental at first. His knee nudged mine under the covers, a brush of denim shorts against my boxers, sending a spark up my thigh. I swallowed hard, the room shrinking to this bed, this moment. We joked about it before, guys in the city, blurred lines after too many IPAs. That one time at the Pride Block party where he'd slung an arm around my waist and laughed too loud at my dumb pun. "You're my favorite straight guy," I teased. And he'd gone quiet, eyes flicking away to the rainbow flags snapping in the wind. But this was no joke. His hand twitched, fingers grazing my wrist, calluses from gripping his laptop keys rough against my skin. A sigh escaped him, deep and ragged, like he'd been holding it since the day we met. I turned my head, just enough to catch the shadow of his face, jaw tight, lashes fanned dark against cheeks flushed in the low light. Vulnerability cracked open, raw as the subway grate steam rising at dawn. My own breath hitched, a small sound in the quiet, and God, the one hit me like a freight train. I'd buried it deep, sketching his profile in margins when he wasn't looking, replaying the way his laugh rumbled low during our Mario Kart marathons. Straight roommate. Best friend. Off limits. Morning crept in slow, gray light bleeding through the blinds, painting stripes across his arms still looped near mine. He hadn't moved all night, body heavy with that exhausted trust, like a storm finally breaking. I watched him wake, eyelids fluttering, a soft groan as he stretched, then froze when he realized where he was. Our eyes locked, his hazel ones wide, stormy with something unspoken. The air thickened, charged like the moment before thunder. "Shit," he breathed, starting to pull away. But I caught his wrist, thumb pressing into the pulse point that hammered wild. Don't. He searched my face. Breath shallow. The mattress creaking under our shared weight. Alex. The pause? Heavy as the traffic horn blaring 2 floors down. His free hand raked through his blonde waves. Tugging hard. Last night. The dreams. They're always the same. Running from something I can't name. And then I think about you. Here. His voice cracked. Raw edges fraying. I tell myself it's nothing. Brothers. Right? But it's not. It's you. In my head. Every goddamn night. The confession hung there. Words tumbling like rain on the fire escape outside. My chest tightened. A sob caught in my throat. Relief. The sweet ache of finally. Jamie. I stopped. Swallowing the lump. Tasting salt. The room smelled of us now, sweat-damp sheets. His cedar lingering. My sketch pencils faint from the desk. I've wanted this. Since that stupid interview where you spilled coffee on my portfolio and apologized with that grin. But I thought. You were straight. Safe. Bitter and broken. Shifting closer till our foreheads touched. Breaths mingling hot and uneven. Safe? Alex. I've been lying to myself since college. Dates with girls that felt like dress rehearsals. Then you move in. With your quiet sketches and that way you hum off-key to Springsteen at 3 a.m. And suddenly I'm questioning everything. His fingers laced with mine. Squeezing till knuckles whitened. Last night, I couldn't breathe alone. Needed to feel you real. Close. Tears pricked my eyes. Hot trails slipping down as I leaned in. Lips brushing his tentative. Electric. He met me halfway. A gasp escaping as our mouths fused. Slow at first. Tasting of unspoken years. His hand cupped my jaw. Stubble scraping soft. While the other traced my spine. Pulling me flush. The world narrowed to this. The wet slide of tongues. His low moan vibrating through me. The creak of bed springs echoing our rhythm. The city stirred once. The sizzle of street vendors firing up, but in here. It was just us. Unraveling. We broke apart gasping. Foreheads pressed. His eyes shining wet. What now? He whispered. Voice wrecked. Thumb wiping my cheek. I smiled. Heart full to bursting. We figure it. Breakfast first. Whatever this is. Together. The sun broke full now. Spilling gold across the floor. Catching the dust motes dancing like tiny promises. He nodded. Pulling me back down. Bodies tangling easy as breathing. No more running. In the quiet that followed. With his heartbeat steady under my palm and the scent of possibility thick in the air. I knew this was the start. Not of some fairy tale fix. But of messy, real love. The kind that crawls into your bed at dawn and stays. Whispering truths in the silence. Days blurred into weeks. That night the hinge everything swung on. We navigated slow, stolen kisses over cold cereal. His hand in mine during Central Park jogs. Dodging stares with defiant laughs. My sketches bloomed bolder. Portraits of him mid-laugh. Freckles mapped like constellations. His articles sharpened. Fueled by the fire we'd ignited. Pieces on hidden queer histories in Brooklyn brownstones. Words pouring fierce and true. But the city didn't yield easy. Whispers at the coffee shop where I freelanced. Those too. Miss. Jamie's family calls from Ohio. Probing casual. His voice tightening on the line. Yeah. Alex is. Important. Hang-ups heavy. But he came back to me every time. Curling close in the dark. Breath sinking like a vow. Climax hit on a rainy October evening. Thunder rattling the windows as we argued in the kitchen. Him pacing. Me leaning on the counter. Coffee mugs steaming forgotten. What if it ruins us? He exploded, voice cracking over the downpour. This city chews up dreams. Alex. What if loving you means losing everything? I crossed the linoleum in 2 strides, grabbing his shirt, pulling him in till rain-slick hair dripped onto my collar. Then we fight for it. Like we fight rent. Like we fight the blank page. You're not losing me, you're finding us. Lightning flashed, illuminating his face, fear melting to fire. He kissed me then, desperate, hands fisting my hair, bodies slamming against the fridge with a thud that echoed the storm. We made love that night, frantic and tender, sheets twisting as thunder rolled. His gasps, my name on his lips like prayer, raw sounds swallowed in the dark. Afterward, spent entangled, he traced lazy circles on my chest. I love you, he murmured, first time spoken aloud, voice soft as the patter easing outside. Love you too, I whispered back, the words a key turning in my chest. Months later, pride again, rainbow flags whipping wild. But this time his arm around my waist felt like armor, not apology. We danced in the crowd, sweat slick and laughing, his kiss public, unapologetic. My portfolio landed a gig, his byline hit a major Mac. Small wins, stacked like bricks in our shared foundation. In the end, it wasn't fireworks or grand gestures. It was the quiet mornings, his crawl into my bed becoming habit, no words needed because love speaks in silences filled with touch. We'd built something real from the wreckage of what-ifs, a life stitched with vulnerability, where 2 scared kids from Craigslist became each other's home. And in the glow of another dawn, with Brooklyn humming alive below, I knew we'd crawled through the dark together. And stayed.